So, what do you think about, for example, establishing a gold standard for pregnancy then? Is it possible? Assuming that there are some baseline for all women in order to have a good pregnancy and to have a healthy outcome, is it possible to create something like this? And what do you think the value of something like this would be?
Is it possible? Absolutely. Is it necessary? Again, absolutely. So yes, the answer is yes, we need that. There are some here and there, but I don't know that there is the comprehensive gold standard as I've been hearing from Square Roots and you know what you're thinking of. I think this would be a major advance in the field, and really distilling that standard to what are the core elements, what are the things that, and those don't need to be too many, but they're usually a handful or two of key things that need to be done consistently. This is where if we don't do them or if we change something related to them, we're actually not using the best evidence. Distilling those from the many important things. And the many important things tend to be about how you do it. And this is where the innovation and creativity of teams comes in. So differentiating what is core from what is important and allowing the people in the country and the people in the context to be able to adapt the way they do things in order to implement the core becomes of the essence. And that again links up to the very principle that I talked about in developing and innovation and improvement.
Dr. Rashad, with the growing awareness that we have of the environment and how that affects our mental and physical well-being, and how do you think that built environments such as the indoor spaces that we spend our time, a majority of our time in, could help us to understand or improve the outcomes that we have for pregnancy? Because after all, that's the first built environment, so to speak. Do you think there's any correlation there, or something that we could apply?
There's a lot of evidence to talk about the overall environment as well as the built environment. And I think that, just what we're hearing today and about the possibility of air conditioning, recycling the virus, is very scary in buildings and things. So does the built environment have an effect? Absolutely, yes, it does have an effect. And I think here's where, okay, to me, there's an innovation in the work of Square Roots. And the innovative idea stems from the first thing that Murad was talking to me about. He said, we've developed this well-building standard at Delos, which really affects everything, including pregnancy. And then from there, he started to think, well, can we apply this well-building standard to pregnancy? And I thought, this is a beautiful idea. You develop a gold standard, you implement it, you see the results. Now you're taking this innovation to another arena and saying, can we do the same there? So the idea, first of all, has been shown to work through the work of Delos in the past. And yes, we do know that there's an effect. The oxygen that the air that we breathe, the lighting, the overall environment that we're in, the buildings, and I'm not talking about just dangerous things and harmful things in buildings. I'm really talking about the wellness part of living in the built environment that you're describing. Yes, and we do need to have those clear guidelines and standards used and implemented at scale in order to have healthy pregnancies and deliveries and newborns and that grow into adults.